computer. Okay. Yeah. Welcome to Staying Connected, where I look to learn and discuss the unique stories of others. My name is Scott Nguyen. Let's get started. So back at it again in 2022. We're actually doing a re-recording with my friend Obie. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, my friend.
Good, good. So to preserve the sanctity of his beautiful face, we're just gonna have an audio version of this.
Got people after me,
Yeah,
unironically.
You're not lying. But yeah, first episode of Staying Connected for 2022. Figure just do a quick catch up, do a quick review of 2021 and some predictions for 2022. And of
Yes,
course,
sir. Should you start?
Okay. Just a quick catch up. So how have you been? What's been cracking?
What has been cracking? Well, not much. Kind of like the same cycle. Go to work, do jiu-jitsu, go to work, do jiu-jitsu, work on YouTube, less, and then get inspired and then do it less, kind of deal. I guess the biggest change has been I got the boot from my old house, and I had to move back in with my mommy wami for now, and to recover. Funny enough, right after that happened, only like 2 months later, because I was living with my sister, right? We were both renting a house. And then only like 2 months later, like the landlord said, "Oh yeah, by the way, you gotta leave. We're destroying the house."
Oh, they're destroying it. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna take. I don't know if they're like selling it or they're gonna get rid of it. I don't know what. COVID's got people doing all kinds of stuff to
Yeah, we'll definitely talk about that. We were just talking off the air about your recent promotion in jiu-jitsu to a blue belt. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm kind of a badass now.
Hit him in the DM for private.
Yeah. I'm in a relationship, but anybody, if you want to join up, it's all good. Nah. But yeah, I'm really, really happy to, in all seriousness, to have gotten this blue belt, because it's taken a really long time, much longer than probably most people, and that kind of eats away at you over time. Like for most people, I think it's like maybe 1 or 2 years. It took me 4.5 years. So if you're feeling down on yourself, hey, you're probably not at 4.5 years. And ultimately, like Scott was saying off the air, is like what matters is not really about the belt, because everybody's going to be progressing at their own pace, and you shouldn't be comparing yourself to others, blah blah blah, all that kind of stuff. And eventually you get there. Nobody gets worse from continuing to show up to class. So I'm really happy about that.
True. It's better than people that don't get started in jiu-jitsu, I think.
Or quit.
They're missing, yeah, or quit.
Yeah.
Not looking at me, right? Or injured.
No, I'm not looking at you. No, you're not. I'm not looking at you at all.
But that's the one thing I've been talking to a couple of friends about, how getting a new color belt is a lot about validation, and we look up a lot to our instructor, what they say and what they think about us as a jiu-jitsu player matters a lot, and having a promotion is the same thing. It's you get validation from the fact that, oh, my instructor thinks I'm as good as I should be.
Worthy.
Yes, exactly. But no, and also on the flip side, when you go to, I don't know if you visited other gyms, but there are certain color belts and then you just run right through them. Was that guy really a purple belt? Was that guy really a blue belt? And you never want to be that.
Yeah,
You don't ever want to be that belt that you're not as
that's not
good as like
legit.
the standard of that belt. No, you shouldn't, like I said, like if you're a purple belt, you should not suck. Like a purple belt is legit
Yeah,
in my
yeah.
eyes. Like you should not suck. A
Bro,
blue
even
belt,
blue belt should be a pretty legit. You should have a pretty good understanding of like how jujitsu works,
just
but
like
especially if you're purple.
yeah, blue belt, there's a wider range. Granted, there are some blue belts that are literally black belts. They're just held back for.
Bro, like the guys who like compete in Naga like nonstop.
Yeah, they just want to win a championship for their gym.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're a purple
But
belt,
yeah,
you better be freaking good. Like if you're not good as a purple belt, something's wrong. Like
yeah, kind of touching on that idea of like wanting to like your jujitsu like parent like happy. Because I mean, like I was pretty aware of like the idea of like belts are like, it's just a belt, it's just a piece of fabric. And like you no matter what, whether it's just gym or another gym, there's always going to be people who are way better than you no matter what, forever and ever and ever and ever, and that's just life. And so you shouldn't even be tormenting all you have is yourself, and that's you're just gonna progress at the rate that you progress. I was aware about that. The only thing is like is like in your head you say like, no, I deserve it, I deserve it, but at the same time it's like when it's I don't know if I can give out his name. Let's just call him Todoroki. Freaking Todoroki is like a fifth degree black belt that's been like doing jujitsu for like I don't even know, like back when people were like riding dinosaurs and crap. So his opinion actually holds a certain level of certification.
mm,
And so I couldn't really just like, stupid old man, you don't know me. So that's why it was important for me to not just like validation in the touchy feely feel good way, but to be certified by somebody who knows what they're talking about, I think is important. Same with like, if you're going to be a doctor, you want to be certified. You know what I mean? So yeah.
that's the thing, though. I think nowadays, just to transition a little bit, people with expertise, I think it lets them get to their head. I'm not saying it's for everybody. Like just the title doctor in general. I think,
Mm.
especially nowadays, since COVID is so rampant and all its variants, the title of doctor, a lot of people have let that inflate their ego. Um,
Yeah.
it made them have a superiority complex and really judge people and just don't just not meeting people halfway through the road. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Like
I can't.
they'll say things and then they'll say things according to their beliefs, and they'll kind of dehumanize the other side that doesn't believe with what they believe in. You know, and the most ridiculous, even before COVID, the stupidest thing I've seen doctors do is give nutrition advice.
Uh,
And just because people think a doctor is a doctor does not mean they know what nutrition is. You know, when they go to medical school, they probably get what, like an hour or like one class worth of nutrition.
uh,
They shouldn't know anything about nutrition. You know, or like even dentists. Like I love dentists and they're cool, but when they're giving advice about like physical fitness, it's like you have no idea what you're talking about.
yeah, it's a very specific education, right? So like expertise is like you're an expert in this one field, and like you're kind of reaching out into things that are outside of like your field, and you think that you know what you're talking about. I get what you're saying. Yeah, it can be a mixed bunch. I get what you're saying.
I think when you do become an expert, I think the best telltale sign that you're an expert is you realize that, hey, I really don't know much.
Mm.
And that it's kind of like a fallacy. The more you know, the more you realize that you don't know.
Yeah.
It's like what, reverse Dunning-Kruger.
Yeah.
You know that you don't know a lot.
Yeah. I get it. I think that people can tend to underestimate expertise. I have a lot of respect for it, but also like I kind of like when you're talking about like doctors letting it go to their head and like dehumanizing other people. I remember like something, and like I'm like very very like pro mainstream science, pro like doctor like education, pro that. And I remember like Dr. like Fauci said something that like made me go like, oh,
I am
like he
science.
said, yeah, I am science. I am the embodiment of science. And if you disobey me, then you are disobeying science itself. Like, what are you, bro, what are you talking about? Like, though, that's like the most culty thing I've like ever heard.
The
I
Messiah
am
complex
science.
just came in hard. And the funny thing is, isn't science all about trying to disprove what you just learned or found out, or doing experiments to see if you're wrong or not? Isn't that what science is? It's like it's the
Yeah.
strangest thing.
I mean, yeah, I mean that's part of it. That's a part of it. You know, at some point, like there, like you test something like thousands and thousands of times over multiple years, over hundreds of thousands of people. That's a pretty, that would be a pretty scientific thing. And at some point, you gotta be like, okay, yeah, I think that's good enough. It's kind of relative, but like when he said that, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
that's oh, that's pretty cringe. Fauci. It's pretty cringe. Yeah, you have to be able to. You have to be able to not be too dogmatic. You have to be open to new evidence. You have to be able to say that I might be wrong. You have to kind of weigh things out.
No, I definitely think from the beginning they should have led with instead of saying, oh, vaccine is the cure, they should have led with, this is the information that we have so far, and the
Mm,
information and real life events, they're going to continue to change because we don't know much about this virus yet. But here's what we know, and here's what we know about the vaccines. But again,
at this time.
at this time, when we get more information, we're going to update you. And we don't have all the answers right now, but we're going to continue to update and make sure we have the right answers. That little bit of humbleness, instead of saying, no, the vaccine is the only cure or the only
Uh-huh.
solution for this problem. And again, just to preface it, that I'm not anti-vax forever.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just saying that I think everyone just is really, really, really tired of just having vaccine as the only solution and getting it shoved down their throats. And
Uh-huh.
everyone I know, everyone I've talked to, everyone I've seen, they're just so worn down from all of this. So I was
Mm-hmm.
wondering what you think about that.
Um, like I don't know, like like doctors around the world don't always speak in a one unified voice, but like for me, like the message that I got was like I listened to this one doctor on YouTube. I forget what his name is.
Was it on
Um,
Joe Rogan?
no, he wasn't on Joe Rogan. Um, Shucks, I think it's like I can't remember it, like Dave or something, but like he would always preface everything he said like, this is the statistics that we have now, that things are going to change as time goes on, and I'm going to continue to inform you about what things are, how things are. So that was good. But touching on that idea of people getting tired, uh, it kind of worries me, because it makes me feel like this my like this pandemic's gonna just get worse, because like at the start everybody was super motivated. Everybody was like, yeah, we have a common enemy, let's all work together to do this, woo woo. And then time started to kind of erode away that enthusiasm. And people's like, bro, I'm fucking sick of these goddamn masks. I'm tired of being in my house, and I'm tired of what I got the vaccine, and it's not gonna I gotta get another vaccine. What? I gotta get a booster. What? And it's like just it's like kind of like New Year's resolution fatigue, where people start off really motivated and then they give up. And the thing is that the virus doesn't care.
Mm-hmm.
It's just going to keep on doing its thing. And so that worries me, that things will get a lot worse until people go like, and they freak out, and then they start trying to put in more preventative measures.
Well, if
Yeah.
you ever want to make anything sucky, you just add politics to it. And I think politics have really dragged this out, and they have just made politics really gets in the way of science. So you think about it, like it gets in the way of innovation. Just I think I speak for half of the nation when I am half of the nation.
I don't know. It's just it can. Yeah. What are you gonna do? It's just human nature. Everything has to be connected to everything.
Well, the one thing we do know is that sounds like Joe Rogan. I've been listening way too much. The one thing we do know is about when you give government power, like they're not going to give it back. And the closest,
give them they take a foot.
The most recent example is the Patriot Act. I think it was John McCain that started it, where they can track your data, track your calls and all that, for like people forget, man. You give the government a little bit and you're never getting it back.
No, bro, I have been like when it comes to like medicine stuff, like I'm kind of like sheeple a little bit. I'm like, give me that shit. I don't give it to me now. Stick it in my body. I don't care. But like when it comes to like tracking like where you are, and like where you start getting ads over like I was just talking about this with my friend. Like what? Or like you see an ad like on Instagram and it pops up on YouTube. I can't stand that. Like that's why I use like Tor and DuckDuckGo and VPNs, and like I love Monero. Let me handle my shit. You stay over there. Let me do my thing. Leave me alone. Stop tracking. I just want to give you more nice shit to buy. I don't care. I'm good. Leave me alone.
How many booster shots will be too much for you? Let's say next year they're coming out with the 4th one and the 5th one. How much is too much? Or do you take them all?
So like logically, I would like if I was just like I would just take them all, but I'm getting tired too. I'm getting worn out. I think that everyone should get vaccinated. I think that you should get the booster because that's how we're gonna fight this. But at the same time, like I can't help like my human nature just being like I'm getting tired of it. I'm tired of wearing the mask. I'm tired of getting shots. It's like it gets old, but yeah, that's basically my opinion on that. Because like the boosters aren't going to like the reason that you took the vaccine in the first place is going to be the same reason that you would take the booster. So like the logic doesn't change. If you don't take it, then things will get worse. So I can't really see a reason why not to take it other than like I'm tired of it. And I don't really think that's a really valid reason, especially considering how many people have died. Like what are we at? Like
6 figures.
Like 6 figures, and it's like that's a that's a unfathomable amount of people. Like it's so many lives lost. And I know there's other things that kill people, and like, why aren't we concerned about that? And bada 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 bada. And like, is it just life and we just gotta let things run its course? And I don't think so.
You know, I wanted to discuss that with you about other causes or other bad things going on in the world. I don't know if you know Chamath Hapatia, the Golden State, one of the minority
No,
owners. Anyways, he made a comment on on his podcast about the Weavers. You know about them?
the Weavers,
Yeah,
no.
they're in China. Basically, they're an ethnic group, and they're being put towards slave labor in China. You know, there's
Mm.
a big outcry about that in the New York Times, and people are up in arms about that. But what his comment was that he didn't really care too much about um, world events, like all this other crappy stuff that's happening,
Uh,
because he's more focused and he cares more about the bad stuff that's going on in the US, like your backyard, basically.
mm.
And uh, I don't know, how do you feel about that? If you had money, like, do you take care of the things domestically first before you take international on? Can you do both? Is it plausible to
I
do both?
I think that if I think you shouldn't help others if you can't help yourself. Like that's kind of like a broad statement, but I think it's a pretty good principle that like if you like who's gonna help people if you don't exist? You know what I mean? Like if you can't take care of yourself and I mean that happened to me. Like just I mean I know it's like not the same thing, but like I'm sure lots of people do this where like you have friends or family or some guy that like you just feel bad about, and so you try to help them out, you try to cheer them up, and you just keep giving and giving and giving, and on the inside you're just like just like shriveling away, right? And the other thing is like, is you helping going to make a difference? Are you just like throwing money into the void? I think that if you're gonna try to like extend your help internationally, it has to do something. It can't just, you know, like if somebody is like drowning like 1,000 feet underneath the ocean, the bottom of the ocean, and you have the ability to lift them like I don't know, like 100 feet higher, that's not gonna do anything. You know what I mean? Whereas if you have the ability to say actually pull somebody out of the water, then you've actually done something. Does that make sense? I know I'm
Yes,
rambling.
no, it does.
I'm kind of like chewing on it while I talk about it.
The one thing about international relations is it's just so difficult. Like if you meddle with another country's affair, you might risk going to war. You might risk that country not exporting. You might risk
Mm,
the imports, and that's a lot. That's a lot of money that you affect the global world economy that way. That's why I
mm,
think it's so hard to affect things internationally. Um, but there are things
yeah,
you can do domestically. I think there's less boundaries. You affect things, you know, around your backyard. That's something you can do. It's just,
yeah.
you know, when you deal
I
with things like a major superpower like China, it's good luck. Or somebody like Russia, good luck. Good luck
oh god.
convincing them that like free, cheap labor isn't good. But
Oh
no,
man.
as far as your
Nah.
analogy, you ever heard about the rescue, the 2-year-old versus the 5-year-old um, problem? Okay, I'll tell
Oh,
it to you.
you tell. Is this a more dilemma?
Yeah. It's basically like you see two kids drowning. Do you save the kid that's 2 years old, or do you save the kid that's 5 years old?
I would save the kid that's 2 years old just based on that he has more to live with. And
Not
probably the 5-year-old would have more have a better ability to save himself.
No, they're both gonna die. You know, it's a flowing current that's gonna sweep them away. But according from what I've read, you save the 5-year-old because
Oh,
they're physically more mature than the other one. You have a better chance of saving them because let's say you try to go to save a 2-year-old, but they can't swim. They just drink all that
mm.
water. They might die even if you do rescue them.
Oh,
So you
okay.
save
I
the
didn't even think that. I
so you save the
didn't even consider.
5-year-old based on the probability that they can hold on for a little bit longer. But at the
Oh,
end,
okay.
it's the end. Like one kid's gonna die. So I want to somehow reconnect that back to international and domestic problems. It's like, yeah, let's say like you do try to solve things domestically, but you might not help at all. But at least you have a better chance. Is what I'm trying to
Hmm.
say.
I think that's a really good point. I mean, isn't that kind of like why we like pulled out of Afghanistan? Like, like we were helping them as much as we could, and then it just got to a point like where it's like they just didn't want to help themselves. And as soon as we left, the whole like country is like in shambles now.
Yep. Yep. Terrorists took it over, and
Just
it
like it like immediately, and it's like it kind of like went to show like okay, like disclaimer, this is just obvious. The 27-year-old living like in his room, not doing anything. I'm not super educated on these things, but like it really seems like they didn't want to help themselves, and you can't help people that don't want to help themselves. You can't push a rope, as they say. So the idea of helping people that want to meet you halfway, yeah, that's probably the best expenditure of your time and your resources and your energy that you're pulling away out of other things.
I'm gonna dispute you, and the most
Yeah.
respectful way possible. But no, when I think when it comes to war, and I don't know, we might need to look into this.
Uh,
It's never the people that are the change. The people I don't think is the problem. I think it's always the government. It's the
mm,
government that controls everything, and in this case, I definitely believe that our government and their government really screw the pooch and really let their own people
oh
just
yeah, the way we left that was horrible. I agree that the way that we pulled out was terrible. It was honestly embarrassing. But I mean, a government is made out of people. I'm not talking about civilians. I'm talking about like if you look at like I remember vaguely like soldiers were constantly just like always leaving when they were recruited. It just seemed like they didn't want to fight.
true because you would imagine going to war for something and then you're killing kids, you're killing women, people that
Yeah.
got abducted and didn't want to even be there in the first place. I mean,
Yeah, like I see, like I don't even like know like why were we in Afghanistan? Like was it we are just like fighting terrorists or something?
weapons of mass destruction, my friend.
Ah, right. Is that what it is?
People will always find a way to justify war, and
Yeah. Well, I mean, like look at where Afghanistan is now, right? This total takeover is what they were defending against, and now it's happened.
it's a shame those poor girls and women, all the progress
Yeah.
made us. But I want to make this a lighter note because it is
And on
yeah,
that cheerful note,
get,
let's
get, get,
spring
get,
into the next topic.
it's getting a little morbid.
Yeah.
On a lighter note, have you seen that one? All seriousness aside, have you seen that one video of like the Taliban like dancing to Drake?
Who?
Like the Taliban, like they took over this one club or like
Oh my
city,
God.
and
You're shitting me.
and then like they're dancing to Drake's Kiki, Do You Love Me? And then like
Oh my
there's this
God.
there's this one Taliban guy just like using it as a rifle as well. it,
Oh
it's
my
hilarious.
God.
It's hilarious, but not really. They're just having a grand old time to dancing.
Oh, bro.
I'll share it to you after, but I do have some things that I want to review.
That's funny.
That's a it is funny, but not really. Okay, so we did a catch up. Let's do a little of a 2021 review. I know we mentioned one of your achievements, but besides that, what was your proudest achievement for 2021? And we'll go back and forth.
Holy crap, it's my blue belt. That's probably like that's probably like my first like real achievement that I actually, that wasn't something that, like I said, that I knew I was going to dedicate years of my life to, and I told myself I am going to finish that without a doubt, my blue belt.
Blue belt.
That's my baby.
The next belt's the hardest in my opinion. My proudest achievement would probably be realizing that I'm not as good as I think I am. No, for real. Like I came in 2021, with these lofty goals and like this high degree of confidence, and I gotta admit I kind of face planted like multiple times this year. I failed so much, not only in my professional career, but my personal life as well. And it's a good
Wow.
realization of like, hey, you're not that good, but now that we know that, here's what we can do to achieve that. And I think in the beginning of 2021, I was kind of blind to that. It's like, I can do anything, which isn't a bad mindset to have. But I felt like I was already good at something. I felt like I was already good, so I didn't need to try as hard. I really didn't need to do all the things I need to do to get even better. So a good example would be communication. I've always thought, I'm pretty good at communication. Like wherever I need to get across to the other person, I can probably do that pretty easily. But I did a terrible job, especially with my interpersonal relationships this year. So
interesting.
realizing that I'm not that good, and then understanding that I can always be better, I think has set myself up at least for like the future, moving on. So just knowing that humility of like, no matter how successful you become or how good or how adept you get at something, you're really not that good, and you can always get better.
That surprises me, because I mean, like your whole channel is dedicated to this idea of hearing people out and talking things out. So I would imagine that you are pretty good at communicating with people.
I think communication, and do you know what a asymptote is?
No.
It's like a little graph on a calculator. Anyways, it's like a line that never touches the axis. Like it can come really, really close to the axis, but it'll never cross it. So I feel like that's what communication is like. You can get good at communication, but you'll never master it, because there's so many variables, and people are the most complex variable of all. You never know what someone's thinking. Like you might think that, oh, they got it, but they don't. You might think that situation is so obvious, but it's not. So that's what I feel communication is like. Like you can get good, but you'll never master it. And when you do think that you master it, you're just in over your head. You'll never.
You're doomed.
No, it's like the expert fallacy. The more you know something, the more you realize that, oh, I really don't know much at all.
Yeah, that's very true. Yep, I agree with that. Communicate it. Like, I mean, I posted like this video about talking about like free will, and I like after like spending like I spent like a month trying to make it as simple and clear as possible. And even so, it's still hard for me to communicate what's in my head clearly to another person, because like even like people just don't live in the same paradigms as you do, right? We have our own biases, our own preconceptions, our own whatever. So you can say words, but whether or not it really clicks in a person's head is another matter.
True. It's just people will always surprise you. That's why
Yeah.
that's one of the things I learned. They'll always surprise you with something that you can explain it as clear as you can, concise as you can. But there will always be someone that goes, I don't get it. I don't understand.
Yeah.
And that's okay. All right. Biggest setback of 2021.
Oh man, my biggest setback for like the last couple of years. Hold on, am I hearing like music playing right in my side? Do you hear that?
No, I don't hear nothing.
Hold on, give me a second.
This episode is sponsored by. I wish I.
This episode is sponsored by
My-
Raid Shadow Legends. Epic new champion. Earn this 37 jewels. That whatever that means, you have no clue.
Athletic Greens, Zip Recruiter.
Yeah. So I was gonna say, the biggest setback for me that I've had for like the last couple of years is having no car, bro.
Oh yeah.
Bro, no car. Ooh.
Did you fix your bike? Is it still rideable? I remember your bike was a little beat up.
Define rideable.
Can you still get from
like
A to
if
B?
I got a good hill?
For walking it up.
Oh, walking it up. That's different. No, but and yeah, having no car, man, that's been a rough. Not being able to go where you want to go, having to catch the bus anywhere I want to go, having to ride my bike. But actually tying into like another like my biggest accomplishment, I bought my first car.
Hey, congrats.
Yeah, so I'm glad I'm past that. We'll check that off. Next we'll just have to finish paying off that beautiful loan.
Oh, it's a brand new car. You didn't buy new.
Brand new. Brand new.
Look at you. Okay.
Yeah, what can I say?
Oh,
How
baller.
about you, man?
My biggest setback for injuries. Oh my goodness. I've lost. I've lost.
Oh yeah, sciatica. Yeah.
Yeah, I've lost 6 months worth of training and then going out and doing stuff due to injury. 6 months, half of the year. 6 whole months. I look back and I'm trying to do the math and I'm trying to figure out like, man, 6 months is so long. I could have done so much. I could have learned so much more. I could have done so much more. Could have made new friends. Could have got better at jiu-jitsu. And that's one of the biggest lessons I've carried with me through 2022. It's like if my body says, "Hey, you need to take a break," I just gotta take a break. Because when I was training, I would just go lift and I would just do jiu-jitsu, and then even when I was hurting, I would just push through the pain. But I can't do that anymore. I can't.
Yep.
I'd rather miss a couple of days or a week versus a couple months.
Yep. That's the pain of jiu-jitsu. And some days it'll be like I feel good, even though like you were hurting just the day before, and then you go and then you tweak yourself, and it's like, oh well, I just added a whole like an extra like couple weeks to this whole ordeal.
Funny, like one of the biggest draws to jiu-jitsu that everyone says is, "Oh yeah, it's so good for you, keeps you healthy." And then when you do it for a while, everyone's just bang up.
Yeah, everyone's fucked up. Yeah. Oh man, it's so true.
Okay.
Yeah, I got some pretty nasty injuries. Damn near like busted my knee.
Recently?
Relatively recently, I went for a throw. I went and like I had like you're supposed to have your feet together, right? And then throw over the hip. But I had like one leg straight, one leg over the side, right?
Oh.
And when I threw him over my hip, he slid off my hip and onto my leg, and that buckled my knee.
You
So that was
trying to do a uchimata, I believe. That's
I don't think it's Ujimata. Uchimata is the one where like you kick up with the leg, yeah?
no, that's a goshi. Harai
Oh,
goshi thing series.
I'm not sure.
I don't know. A hip throw.
Yeah,
That's why
it's a Moiki Suwaka, I believe it's called. You know Moiki Suwaka.
you could just make up anything and I'll believe you. But
Yeah.
that's why
You probably just never heard of it. It's real advanced.
blue belt things.
It's a blue belt thing. I found it on Scroll in the mountains. You wouldn't know about it.
That's why in judo, like the person doing the throw lands on top of the other person, so they don't have that problem. But in jiu-jitsu, you can't do that. So.
Yeah.
Okay. Biggest surprise of 2021.
Biggest
surprise you, or someone surprised you, or a realization of something.
Bro, I had something in my mind, but then I remembered, bro, last night I got home and apparently I had no idea that my freaking little brother had his face pressed up against my glass in the dark with his mouth open. Bro, it turned my head. It just was like right there, scared the shit out of me. That was a big surprise. Like primal fear. Like I literally like thrust out my hand against the glass just because I thought it was like some kind of creature of the night. But yeah, that was a big surprise. But let's see. Oh, I got one. And this is pretty embarrassing. You ready for this? Hey, don't tell nobody, yeah? But I learned this recently and it's embarrassing, but I'm gonna open up. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I recently learned that when it's summer, it's not summer everywhere on the planet. I thought that everybody experienced the same seasons at the same time all around the world. All these years. Really? And some dead ass. I had no idea. No, I don't know how that slipped through the cracks. Maybe it's because seasons don't exist in Hawaii. I don't know. But it wasn't even so much like learning that. The surprise came from like, how do you miss something like that? How do you miss something that's like so like a part of like reality?
Who told you this, or did you watch a video to find out? Or
yeah, I wanted to make my own sundial. I wanted to make a sundial, and then that's how I learned. That's how I learned about it.
What was your reaction? Like, oh my god!
My reaction is just like, holy crap! This is nuts. But it kind of goes to show, like, when you like look at like people who are like doing like Tai Chi, like thunder blasts, like psychic power blast, or they're trying to cure COVID with like a baking soda bath. It's like, I'm starting to have this theory that people aren't stupid as much as like they just don't know things. Because I mean, like that was the case with this. So yeah, that was my biggest surprise, to cut my rambling short. Bruh.
Who knows what you'll be surprised by this year, huh?
Oh yeah. Oh, super excited.
What's next? Global warming isn't real.
I knew it. That's not a surprise now.
What do you
The
mean
Earth
polar bears and penguins aren't in the same place? They were put there by the government.
God damn it. Bro, what if the flat earthers are right?
What if the world's not really round?
What if there is no world?
We're in the Matrix.
Yeah, we're all in the Matrix.
I need to watch that movie.
Yeah, I don't think you should. Everybody says it's shitty.
Oh, no, not the fourth one, like the first three.
Oh, like the first three. Yeah, those ones I hear are good.
All right, my biggest surprise or realization would probably be I hate going back to jujitsu. Problem. So,
Jiu-jitsu is life.
um, I think it's something similar to you, like where it's so obvious, but you don't realize it until
Somehow you missed it.
Yeah, and for me, it's taking advice from people that has never done it. And I'll give you an example of I was consider starting a business with a couple of my friends, and I don't know why I asked my family, because especially my mom. I don't know why I asked my mom. Maybe she just gave her opinion about it. I don't know. But I asked her, like, what do you think about this? And she just like shot it down, and she was like listing out reasons of why it wouldn't work. You know, don't trust your partners, and the market sucks right now. And then like I believed her, and then like I didn't stop planning for this business. Which in a couple years I hope to start it. It's a financial investment business, but I took a step.
Exciting.
I took a step back, and I'm like, this lady has never invested. This lady has never started a business. Why am I going to her for advice? Why does this make any sense? And then I took a look at like people around me, or like anytime I go to someone for advice or information or resources, it's like, does this person qualify to give me the advice I need? You know, you wouldn't go to someone for investment advice if they don't have a portfolio, or you wouldn't go to someone for business advice if they don't have a small business.
Yeah. I'll go to advice to someone who doesn't do jiu-jitsu. Yeah,
that wouldn't work, bro. I just stand up.
But you know what? I think that's like a natural thing to do, because like I don't know, like especially like even like your mom, like that's the person that you grow up with, always getting advice from, and so that's like kind of like default brain, without really considering like, oh, has this person ever really done it themselves? And like who else are you gonna ask? You're gonna ask the people that are in your immediate vicinity, right?
True. I
But
think
being conscious of that,
definitely one of the biggest thing is you talked about having a default mindset or default something. And I think in order to learn something, we gotta kind of unlearn things as well. Like whatever our default settings is, we have to take a look at it and double check to see if it's still legit. Because sometimes we do things to a default and we just don't take a step back and detach and just analyze it. We just accept it as it is. It's just sometimes the default systems are so inefficient, or they just don't work, or it's time to have an upgrade or just find a new setting.
Conscious. Be conscious of what you're doing instead of just kind of letting life flow through. It's kind of like those guys who like show up to like jujitsu and they're like not really, they're just kind of there. Like, okay, and
I mean,
like walk in.
I mean, you always hear about just show up, right? And
yeah,
showing up is great, but no, you got to do a little more than just show up.
But yeah, I mean, you're not gonna probably get worse, but you're gonna, if you're just showing up and kind of going through the motions, and you have to engage your brain. You have to, like, I'm here with a purpose. I'm gonna go to this class and I'm going to take this information. I'm gonna actually memorize it. Because if you don't take the time to actually work on what's being taught, then you might as well have not even gone.
To be fair, after a long day of work, it's a little rough.
It's hard. It's hard. It's hard. But that's what you got to do.
Hey, if the blue belt says so, so shall I go.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Do you feel yourself like rank up once you put that blue belt on? Is it do you feel
Yeah, you see, I used
stronger?
to be terrible, then suddenly once I put it on, like I started having like this avatar flashback, like all my past lives of like warriors started like flooding into my mind, and I became a blue belt.
When I first put it on, it felt like, oh, it's just different. But it's not.
Really?
You're still the same person. I just felt different.
No, man. Honestly, I damn near want to just like fuck it, give me that shit. Give me that. I was supposed to have this a long time ago. In my brain, I already knew I was a blue belt.
Mm. Well, the question is, if you are a blue belt, are you tapping out other blue belts in the gym? That's the
Uh-huh.
question. Oh, you
Yes,
are
I
okay.
Hey,
All of them,
yep.
half of them.
Half of them.
Who's
Let's see. Well, a lot of the other belts got promoted
promoted?
too.
Yeah, that's a
But
blue belt.
there's not too many blue belts that are like my same weight.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
But
I'll like three blue belts. Yeah, I tap like two of those, like most of them. So
yeah, I yeah, I'm starting to be able to tap other blue belts.
yeah,
Makes me
yeah.
happy.
Yeah,
Plus, make me smile.
we gotta roll. I gotta
Yeah, you
um
gotta test me out.
yeah. Give me that. You are not a blue belt.
I got some new moves.
Oh, okay.
Got some new moves.
We will definitely have to test that out this year. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go into 2022. Any goals, aspirations, resolutions, anything you're excited about?
I want 1,000 subs and a stripe on my blue belt. That's the
Ooh,
goal.
are you close to either?
Bro, I got like out of nowhere, I got like 500 subs. Like like right before because my last New Year's resolution was to reach 100 subs. And like within December, for like no reason, oh how fickle the internet and the YouTube algorithm can be. Like one of my Caleb and Sophia, the Jehovah's Witness cartoon.
No. Oh yeah.
Yeah, Jehovah's Witnesses have like this cartoon for kids called Caleb and Sophia. And all it was like a YouTube poop, like a fuck all, like none of like my deep contemplations or anything. Is just like a bad lip reading. It's like a minute long, and it got like 20K views.
Wow, congrats.
Yeah, so I'm halfway there. So I think
Dang.
I can do it. That's my goals.
Right
1,000
on.
subs. Yeah, and
Get me
get
to
a stripe.
10,000 subs and we'll do a face
If we
reveal.
can reach 1 billion subs, that would be sick.
Let's say you do get big enough. Will you take sponsors?
Yeah. I'll take anything.
Sponsored by Viagra.
I'll take anything. Give me anything. I'll take it. As long, okay, no, I take that back. I'm not gonna promote something that's gonna that's garbage and isn't gonna help people. Just the basic stuff, But that's a long ways away. Got to keep on that grind.
My goals, aspirations. Probably not get hurt. Just my goals don't really change too much. Don't get hurt, get stronger, faster, get better at jiu-jitsu. Probably try to start to do more stand-up. Kickboxing, Muay Thai.
That's a good one. That's good. I want to learn that too.
I'm a better communicator, friend, boyfriend, etc. Probably one of the biggest one that I've been trying to do is give the world a little bit more love and hope. I know it sounds incredibly corny, but in whatever I do, or like in the grand scheme of things, try to put in a little more love and hope in the world any way I can, either by helping people, donate, whatever. But that's one of my passive goals for the year for like the rest of my life.
To make people happier.
No, not that. Just, I think you try to make people happy, and the people are never happy. But for me, like inspire people to do something. No, it doesn't have to be crazy. Inspire people to do more loving things and things that give other people hope. Because I definitely think the world needs a little hope more and more. So,
you know, I've ever heard of the Good newspaper?
okay.
The Good newspaper is sponsored by a Good newspaper. The newspaper, it's like this subscription that I have, where it's like the goal of the newspaper is to just present all the good that's happening in the world. And I think that's really admirable because, like, you know, we have enough problems, and problems exist, and problems need to be told because, you know, we have to fix them. But it can skew people's view of the world for what it actually is. There are good things happening. There's breakthroughs in science. There's people trying to, like, doing charities. There's good things happening, and it's important for people to feel like you're not constantly just being over, like it's pointless. Yeah. Hope is important. So yeah.
That's what I'm trying to do.
I try to balance life like that.
The rest of my life. Let's just do a little wrap up, and let's do some quick fire questions. Shall we do a meaning of life? What do you think the meaning of life is? And I don't know if you listen to the Lex Friedman podcast, but he asked this question a lot to people, or his guests, like, what's the meaning of life to you? My guest is currently having internet connection issues. Wait for a little bit for him to come back. And he is back. Wait, can you hear me? Hello.
Okay, I figured it out. I found out what it is. I found out what it was.
All right. Where did you get cut off at?
I got cut off at wrap up, doing a wrap up.
So we're just doing a wrap up. And I'm not sure if you listen to the Lex Friedman podcast. If you don't,
No,
I highly recommend it. He's a MIT professor and lecturer, and he works a lot in like robotics, and highly recommend, especially his episode with John Danaher. But
why does it sound familiar, that name?
John Danaher, that's Gordon Ryan's professor of the death
Can't
squad.
put a face on it.
I'll show you after. But yeah, he always asks the question of the meaning of life to his guests, and I want to start doing that. So
right, that's a good one.
Yeah. To you, what is the meaning of life?
I don't really think that life has a meaning. I don't really think that there's like a purpose or meaning to life. I think that we just kind of exist, and that's just what it is. But like in an ironic way, because there isn't like anybody telling you what the purpose of life is, I think that's something that you can decide for yourself. You can, if you want to make your purpose to help people, then you can decide that for yourself. If you want to, it's really up to you. So that's kind of a preface to that. And this is probably gonna be a weird answer, but I don't really have a purpose in life. And I know that sounds sad and counterintuitive, but I don't think that I need a purpose in my head to be happy. All I know is that I can make myself happy, and I can make other people happy by treating them kindly and listening to them and them teaching them what I know. But that's not necessarily my purpose. That's just something that I do. I want people to be, yeah, it's just something that I want to do. I want to get good at jujitsu, but that's not my purpose. Purpose is kind of a specific thing. If I had to pick something, even though like I said, I don't really have a purpose in life, I'd say that I want to teach philosophy. I want to teach people epistemology and how to learn. I don't think there could be anything more important, like more than the things that you learn, more than learning facts, the teaching people the process and the way of thinking to even come to those conclusions. Those principles are something that apply to everything, that will apply to everything in your entire life. I'd say that's a very important, something that's very important to me, and that's something that I want to achieve when I have deep conversations with people. I know that's a little bit of a weird answer, but that's
no, you'll definitely get different answers from different people, and I think that's what's cool about this, because everyone has their own unique story to tell and their own unique ways of thinking. And yeah, maybe, I don't know, maybe the next time I ask you, you'll have a different answer.
Maybe I'll find a purpose.
Maybe you'll be different when you become a purple belt.
Yeah.
As a purple belt, the
take
purpose
for the school.
Purpose is to destroy white belts and lower.
Yeah.
Blue belts and white belts.
To cull the herd.
To build the ship.
To build the ship. Start a cult.
I am science.
I am podcast. It's a fucking sense. I am podcast. I am the omnipresent force. YouTube, Spotify.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, too bad you still live really far away from me. I want to say whenever you're
probably
in
even
town.
further.
Yeah, but whenever you're in town, yeah, hit me up. Let's hang out. We do a lot of these in over Zoom, and we never hang out too much in person, which is weird.
Yeah, man. You gotta give me the deets.
You got. Oh yeah, I do have a lot to tell you.
Yeah.
And I got some juicy secrets that I want to tell you.
Oh.
You get a car now, so no excuses, right? Brand new car.
It's not.
Yeah. Just hit me up. But other than that, yeah, anything else you would like to say for this massive audience for staying connected? 10 million people listening.
With our 10 million live viewers right now.
Yeah.
Okay. In line with the purpose of this whole channel, listen to what people have to say, even if you don't agree with them, because it will give you a more accurate understanding of the world. It will also humanize people, and it will inevitably change your perspective on life. So listen to people, study epistemology, study science, And don't do drugs.
Questionable on the drugs. I don't do drugs, but who am I to judge? You want to plug your YouTube channel or any other social media?
Yeah, subscribe to Obvious, Obviask. I do philosophy, and apparently now I'm becoming the Caleb and Sophia parody guy.
Hey,
So
that's
come
your
down
market.
and see me make blasphemous content.
Get him to 1,000. And I'll put that in the description below.
Hell
on YouTube.
yeah.
This video is gonna be just audio only. So maybe I'll ask you to put like a nice graphic for us or something. You know that graphic of that SoFi graphic of the girl in her room just like listening to lo-fi music.
Yeah, the lo-fi girl.
Yeah. Can we do a lo-fi you or like an animated you?
Hell no, that would take too long to make.
Just put your character and just put the face of that girl.
My persona.
Yeah, persona. yeah, that'd be hilarious.
Dobby the wolf.
Is that the name of your persona?
No.
Do you have a name for? Oh, obvious. Right.
It's obvious. The bottlehead kid, the bottlehead guy.
Okay, I'm all for it. But other than that, thanks everyone for listening. We're gonna put the audio version on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, etc. I also created a Substack and a Medium page for all my writing stuff. So follow me on that. Oh, check it out.
All his fan fiction.
No. It's just things that I like to write about. I found that writing is a lot of fun and helps me put my thoughts down on paper and just analyze everything. So it makes me become a better thinker.
Sort things out instead of just living in the constant like brain loops and fog.
Exactly, because when you're talking about it, you don't really think about it. But when you're writing it down, you have to read it and like, that doesn't make sense. Let me hash that out.
Yeah.
But other than that, thank you very much. We will definitely do this again. Maybe like something like a history or something controversial to push the views and subscribers.
Yeah.
But other than that, thank you very much. And yeah, for everyone listening, take care. Have a good day. Bye.
And be nice.
Yeah, be nice and don't do drugs. And,
be nice.
Stay nice. Put a little hope and happiness in the world. Okay.
Yeah. Bye.